What is going on, everyone? It's Ricky with Tech with Solutions. Hope you guys are all having an amazing Monday. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most common mistakes that I make when investing in the stock market. For those that join us pretty often, you guys are probably going to become familiar with these mistakes that I make pretty often when it comes down to like day trading or swing trading, and overall just like locking in profits. So it's just three simple tips that I would encourage people that are just kind of getting started, that they might want to become a little bit more comfortable with. I'm also going to be giving a couple shout outs to members both part of Tech with Solutions and Learn Plan Profit that have been absolutely killing it. And then we can go from there. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you guys an example, a real example of something that I'm actually trading right now, what my mistake is again. And for those that are part of LPP, you guys already know what that mistake is, just because we went live just like we do every single day at market open for about 1 hour. Austin, you're actually someone that I'm going to be talking to today. So I want to give a shout out to Austin. Austin is a member within our LPP team, and he has been doing an amazing job just being extremely consistent. So Austin, the question that I want to ask you is first, the question that I want to ask you is, I think I have a meeting right now. Shoot. My goodness. Okay. Let's. First day of paper trading. I suck. No, you can't say that, right? It's the first day of you ever getting started, right? So we can't say that, the first day is all, like, it's all about getting started and just getting the ball rolling. So first of all, can you guys hear me okay? If anything, here, I'll do this. I'll put on the headset just so you guys can hear me a little bit better, and then we can go from there. So what I wanted to talk about today is this simple pattern. So this is FRAC. We talked about, if you guys watched my Sunday stock talk yesterday, I talked about 6 different stocks that I saw value in. One of them was JNUG. We talked about if it breaks above $14, it might be something to UWT just went above its resistance. So that was really loud. But yeah, just broke above $14, ended up hitting highs of 14, pretty much 14.19. Overall resistance should be around 14.30, 14.40 altogether. Based on this pattern that we saw in this 20-day analysis, you can see this constant consolidation. Great, that one played out pretty well. DRIP is still selling off. Overall support at around 640. It hasn't broken that support. We talked about this today within the Learn Plan Profit group, and talked about the overall support around 640 and stuff like that. Looks like it's doing a double bottom at around 645 as of right now. It's not showing any signs of an uptrend. My mistake today, just to kind of get straight to the point, is my position on FRAC. We're able to take a position on it on Friday. Today's Monday, so the market opened. Ended up pushing to highs of, pretty much above $14. And the thing is it's FOMO, right? One of the most common mistakes that people make. And it's you can look at this, not even the 20-day analysis, but this 5-day analysis. And you could see resistance at $14, resistance at $14, resistance at $14, resistance at $14 during pre-market hours. And right before the market opened, which it's like, okay, if you didn't have the ability to sell during pre-market hours, I understand why you did it, right? 100%. But I had the ability to lock in profits, and I set my limit order a little bit too high. And I saw it pulling back. I saw it really consolidating at around 1380. I know that FRAC doesn't have huge volume, so I knew a potential was going to be that it was going to start pulling back as soon as the market opened because of how overextended it was based on the previous close. And that's exactly what happened. If you guys, we're able to see like what it was that, the position that I had at 1353 and how much it was that I was up. I was up almost $700 profit on the day before the market even opened. And if I would have simply set my limit order to sell, would have locked in profits, right? But now, because again, it's about like, I want to say that it's like, I don't know if it's greed. I don't know if it's like just the fear of missing out. I didn't want to like miss out a push when it breaks about $14. Now it goes from green to red. When I took the screenshot of where it was that I was up setting up for this live stream, I was still up about $200. As of right now, I'm pretty much I'm even. Pretty much, I'm going to be, there's a support at around 1350, right? And it's been bouncing there quite often. The thing that I do like about this one, and the reason that I'm being so patient with FRAC, is I really like this ascending SMA line, and I really do like that pattern. The thing that I don't like is this descending resistance with lower highs and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that's going to have to change. But again, one of the biggest mistakes that I have made is one of the worst feelings has to be when you're green and you go to being red, right? And it's not even just like, okay, if you're green and then it all of a sudden just pulls back and you had no understanding of, maybe a news alert came out or something like that's a little bit more difficult to like decide, right? But when you know that there's a resistance at $14, when you're aware of why it might be a good potential, anything above 1380 was honestly like golden, right? It didn't require like a lot of understanding like that. Okay, anything above 1380, it made sense on why it was a good time to sell. But again, due to FOMO, due to greed, maybe due to just wanting to maybe make a little bit more money, right? I didn't lock in profits, and you pay for it. And I'm just sharing this based on my experience. It's not like I'm down or like I'm down a lot, right? I'm down $23 as of right now, but that's just because I'm down about 1 cent, right? Overall, I know that there's a support at around 1350. Overall, I know on this 180-day analysis, I really do see a lot of value in this potential that it has to offer. So I'm willing to take on the risk of holding for the potential for profit that it has to offer. But I'm just saying, when it comes down to just getting started, and a perfect example can be, and I'm sure he can even talk about some of the mistakes that he's made as well. But Austin, which is one of our traders within the Learn Plan Profit Lesson Library, that's the private group, right, that I work with every single day. You can see that under the profit section. So my third trade, thank you, Ricky. Okay, Luis, killing it. I like that. Sweet, 4.56 Acacia. You are killing it, nice. But the one that I wanted to show you guys was this one. This is Austin Hunter. He's one of our traders within LPP, and is like, the past 22 days, I've had 2 red trades and have lost $100 and $200. I have had 20 green trades, right, or green days, and I've made a total of $10,000 since I started. Thank you for all your help and guidance, Ricky. This is what it means to be consistent. This is what it means to know when to cover profits, and it's moments like this that, like, I'm just like, okay, like, that shows you what a true disciplined trader looks like, right? And although I might be viewed as someone that's like, pretty consistent or pretty disciplined, we all make mistakes, right? And I just wanted to get someone else's approach when it comes down to, their success and being consistently, green and being able to grow their accounts other than just mine. So when it comes down to Austin, I'm not too sure if you're still here. So I did see that you commented a little bit earlier. So Austin, if you're still here, feel free to, like, I wanted to ask you if you feel okay with sharing, what is it that you think that has led to your success when it comes down to, being able to take on so many green days based on red days? Like, what is it that has really differentiated? I'm Okay, so I have to admit, I was part of that drip fiasco. And Austin, isn't that the worst? Because I was part of it as well, right? That's one of the red trades that I've taken this year. And but yeah, so I just wanted you or for someone to share their overall experience when it comes down to, like, what has led to their success when it comes down to consistently growing their account. You guys have seen me do it. You guys have seen other people that I've personally, known do it. But I wanted to get someone else's opinion that, is simply trading with us every single day. And obviously, it looks like you just shared that, yeah, drip was one that we were I have to admit, I was bag holding it, right, when it was continuing to descend, and it was one of my biggest losses this year. But altogether, I think the thing that has worked very well for myself is that, the ability to be able to grow your account is that you truly have to understand the patterns and know when to just lock it in. And I think for all those that are just getting started, for all those that are just becoming familiar with what the stock market has to offer, is becoming more in tune with just always locking in profits. Every time that you are up and that you see any form of resistance or any form of indication of a potential reversal, just to lock it in. I'm not too sure if that's an approach that you have taken, Austin. Based on the follow-ups that I've had with you, you've had some pretty solid green days when it comes down to trading. And they're pretty huge days. They're in the couple $1,000s, right? But I just wanted to see, like, do you see yourself covering profits maybe sometimes a little bit too early, like myself, or do you sometimes find yourself making the mistake of not covering profits early enough, and then you end up having to wait for the overall reversal? This is actually something the past 2 weeks I've been really bad at this, and I've been making this very common mistake of, when I'm up, I don't lock in profits, and then it continues to sell off, and then it recovers eventually. Just because, again, I'm not investing in something that's like a penny stock. I'm not investing in anything with a very strong descending pattern. If you guys know anything about me, I'm pretty conservative, and I like to invest in two specific pattern types. Horizontal patterns, so they tend to consolidate, and I usually buy it at a pretty low point, and then the other pattern is an ascending uptrend pattern, so usually it will end up recovering, and that has really, I think, assisted me in being a part of my success, because all I have to do is give it time for it to recover. So I think Austin he's like, I've learned so much from that. I would have to say, just to be patient and only take high quality positions. Don't overtrade, and I only trade one stock usually a day, and sometimes even only one for the week. That's huge, and that's something that we try to. That's something that I try to encourage so many people within our trading community to do, both TechBud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit. And if you can solely focus on quality and try to minimize the amount of positions that you take, and just continue to focus on, just taking the, just like minimizing the overall positions that you take for the entire week, so you're that much more in tune with focusing on that quality pick, I think can truly act as a catalyst for your overall success. Even if you're just getting started, forget about day trading every single day. Focus on taking one or two positions for the entire week to get to your weekly goal. Therefore, the overall filter that you'll have in mind is going to be that much more aggressive. So therefore, you don't end up taking positions on a series of stocks or ETFs that are not in tune with something that's going to work towards your overall goal. So thank you. I'm not part of his group. I've just followed him. Yeah. So Edgar, you tune in to like almost every single live stream. And I've followed up with you before. If I'm not mistaken, you are part of TechBud Solutions, though, right? Yeah. I like that. So motivating people who are in minimum wage jobs. I like that. That's really sweet. And then I just want to give a shout out to all those that were able to make a profit. What's it called? That we're able to make a profit on UGAS. So if you guys look at this 20-day 1 hour chart, you can see that the overall pattern for UGAS, we talked about it in our Sunday Stock Talk. I talked about it on Friday with the Learn Plan Profit and TechBud Solutions team. That UGAS was back at the support at around $62. Again, this very consistent horizontal pattern. It made a lot of sense why this was more in the buy area, right, in the buy range. And then today ended up pushing right back up to more of the sell range at around $67 to $68. So that's really just it. Again, we were able to cover a little bit over 5 to 6%, depending on where you were able to sell profit for you guys. So I want to congratulate each and every single one of you that were able to successfully trade that. And also, I wanted to follow up with one other position, and that was with LABD, as this one is currently actively trending up. So we were talking about yesterday in our Sunday Stock Talk. This was one of the okay, Edgar. Yeah. So actually, let me do this. So if you want to join, let's see if it'll let me give it to you right here. I'm not too sure if this link is going to be clickable. If it is, feel free to click it, and then you should be able to join, Edgar. So, we'd love to obviously have you as part of our Discord chat. But altogether, when it comes down to the overall reversal pattern on this 180-day chart, first understand that LABD was showing signs of a descending pattern. It is trying to push back up. Again, we did talk about treating this more as a day trade rather than a swing trade. But actively, right, this is exactly what we were waiting for it to break above the middle view up and approach that top view up as well, and to be able to scalp. It like this. Ended up performing exactly how we expected it to, and that's great, right? Now, how much more margin does it have to offer? That's something that we're going to have to follow up with, because now looking at LABU, which is the inverse ETF, you can see that it's descending. But if you look at this on the 20-day 1 hour chart, you could see on this potential support that it might catch right around the SMA indicator, as well as on this 180-day chart. Yes, it is showing signs of this overall reversal pattern, but it's done this before and then it recovers. And LABU has been actively trending up. So let's just make sure that we understand the overall direction of what it is that we are investing in, and making sure that we don't take a swing trade position when we still understand that the overall stock or ETF, whatever it is that we are trading, is still actively trending down. So if something is actively trending down and you take a swing trade position, meaning that you're going to hold it for a number of days, might not be the safest trade to take, right? If you want to day trade something, then great. totally makes sense. But altogether, might not be the best swing trade. So, of course, NTNX. We've talked about this one before. It's been brought to our attention quite often. But yeah, ascending uptrend pattern, overall SMA tends to act as a support. So as long as it continues to validate that, great. Overall resistance, I'd say around $58 to $60, depending on how conservative or risky you want to be. Obviously, 58 being conservative, 60 being risky. Or a little bit more risky, right? But overall, it's still showing signs kind of a peak formation. I still think that it does have a little bit more margin to sell off. But overall, if it starts to push up above $56 and you see it start to consolidate and start to push up, great, we can revisit that. But if not, and it continues to sell off, then maybe we can wait for a better buy right around that $54 price point. So great call out there as well. So this, that is a call out. I bought Frac this morning at $13.54 and sold at $13.72, and now back at $13.54 again. I like that. Nice. The thing that I really like about you, Austin, has to be that I almost called you Mr. Hunter, but that has to be that you don't even second guess it when it comes down to covering profits. And that's something that I really like about you. You always know that you could always get back in, and every time that you're green, you just lock in profit, which I think is a great quality for traders to have, is to anytime that you're green, just lock it in. And if you end up missing out on something, yes, that might suck, but again, and the reason that I think that I'm doing this is because on one of my trades, I think last week, I missed out on an additional, there's in the past 2 weeks, first one, I missed out on about $2,000 on one of my callouts for DGAS, and another callout I missed out on about $1,000 when it came down to one of my callouts on UGAS as well. So I think that's what's kind of been holding me back from locking in profits, which is just something that I have to kind of itch my way out of. But again, just taking the understanding of anytime that I see any form of a peak formation or of a resistance, I know that I'm green, I'll lock in profits, wait for a sell-off. If it sells off, wait for the reversal, get back in again and make more money that way, and then just continue to keep that going. So again, it's never a bad idea. So no one goes broke by covering profits. And if you can really just try your best to lock in profits as much as possible when there's any understanding or indication of a resistance, then just follow up with me. I would really like to see how this ends up working out for a lot of you guys, because I really do think that it's going to really assist you guys in just getting the ball rolling, starting to grow your accounts, and then you can focus on maximizing overall profits. But that is pretty much it for today. So do you listen to Bazinga? I do not. Agree, lock those profits. Steve D, I appreciate that. Yep, I do agree. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Just wanted to give a shout out to all those that are part of TechBud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit. For all those that want to join our free trading community of TechBud Solutions, we're one of the fastest growing private trading communities out there. It's free. It's the third link in the description, and we have over 100,000 members. For those that want to learn a little bit more about our private groups, such as the ones that Austin and I are in, you get to watch me trade live every single day. That's the first link in the description. And if you want to invest 30 seconds and just check it out, feel free to give me some feedback as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Mark Hall, what's going on, Mark? Mark, you have to follow up with me and how your flips are going for the buying and reselling of cars. So enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, I do apologize. I wasn't able to catch up on all direct messages last night, but I will be catching up on direct messages as soon as this video ends. So thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Monday. And if I don't see you for the rest of the week, I make videos every single day, but for those that don't tune on in, hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Hope you guys can end it green. And again, just continue to surround yourself with people that motivate you, that make you feel, just better, that don't bring you down, and that are here to encourage you and make you a better person. So you become a true representation of the people that you associate yourself with. So, obviously we'd love to be a part of your success, but most importantly, we want to make sure that you see value in us. And if you do, then I think that could be a great partnership. So thank you guys again. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Continue working hard, continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.